What's going on, everybody? This is Al from PlaybookGamer.com. And in the last Dynasty video, we took on Toledo in the Meineke Car Care Bowl and ended up winning 28-10. We didn't have many issues. We played great on offense. We played probably better on defense. And we finished the season 10-3 and 13th in the country. Just a great way to end the season. We're slowly getting better. And this video, it's all about the offseason. Going in, recruiting, bringing in better talent, trying to get our roster to where we want it to be for Season 4. Before we head into the offseason, I always want to look at my roster, see who I am losing, who is coming back, so I can take notes and act accordingly when we start recruiting. Now, I always like to go position by position, and we'll start off with the quarterbacks. Now, we got 5 guys that should be coming back next year. Now, Gates, he is our starter until he leaves Duke. So it doesn't matter who else I would bring in this year. Nobody is going to take his spot. Now, we got 5 guys coming back, so I really don't need any other quarterbacks, but I did write down in my notes, one if special. If he's a Troy Petty, a guy who can run, throw, 5-star, looks absolutely incredible, that really wants to come here, sure, I'll probably pick him up. But otherwise, we really don't need anybody here. You look at halfback, we are going to lose Drummer. He has had a great dynasty, a great career for us in this dynasty. And you look here in the 3 seasons he's been with us, running the ball, he's done really well there, pretty much being the backup for most of those seasons, and he's done even more catching the ball. He got like 7 total receiving touchdowns out of that. He's returned the ball for us on special teams. So we're going to miss him, or we're going to have to replace him. And since we're going to have 4 coming back, you notice the other guys that I have. I got Miranda, a true freshman, that I think he could do really well here, but he's a more of a power running back. Same with Brooks. He's just an 86 on the speed. Boyette's at 90. So I have in my notes 1. I only really need 1. I got too many guys in the room if I got more than that. But I did write down speed. I want to find another drummer. He would complement Horton really well. So maybe we could find another 4 or 5-star kid that's like a Reggie Bush or something. That way Horton doesn't have to carry the ball the entire time. Although I don't mind doing that. I always feel like my run game is better if I got 2 good backs in the backfield. Fullback, we do not need any help here. We have 2 guys. Technically, all 3 are coming back. Tim Ball's going to be a senior next year, but we got backups behind him, so we don't need any help at fullback. Wide receiver, this has been one of our weaknesses all dynasty, but it is getting better, mainly because we got 2 big recruits coming in already, and we're going to check those out a little bit later. One of them's a 4-star, the other one is a 3-star, but we're getting more guys here in the wide receiver room. Now, Wright is leaving. He's the one who got hurt in our last game, but he's had a solid career for us here at Duke. I'm sorry to see him go. We're going to have to replace him. Riley, hopefully, will come back. I don't see why he wouldn't. But Myrick's a true freshman. Buttles has been our most important wide receiver in the dynasty so far. He's the only one that's really done a whole lot, and he was a JUCO kid, no less, but he had an incredible last season. We're going to miss him. We're going to have to replace him. I like to have some speed in the slot and somebody who can really catch the ball. Very good chance of Myrick may be my slot receiver next year, but we'll see. One of those true freshmen may get that nod as well. So with 2 freshmen coming in already, and we're losing 2 guys here, we probably don't need to pick up another one unless another stud really wants to come to Duke. Tight end. We just picked up maybe the best tight end I've ever recruited. He is coming in next year. He will probably start. He's going to be that good. And we got 3 young guys right here, so we do not need any more help at tight end. I only have 1 formation that has 2 tight ends in it, so I don't use a ton of tight ends, even though they are quite important in my passing game. So I'm not going to have to do much here. You look at the tackle position. Now, the offensive line is where we need help the most. You look at our offensive line. Phillip Bourne has done a great job at right tackle. We need help on the other side of the ball. We already got a commitment from 1 tackle. He may be our day 1 starter at left tackle next season. But I'm going to try to find the best tackles that I can find, a 1 or 2. The same with guard. We're going to lose 1. We're going to at least need to pick up a couple. But all these guys are in the 70s. We just need better players here. Center, I've been going after centers the entire dynasty. Every season I feel like I'm going after at least 1 guy. And I may have to pick up another one. We're just not getting a lot of great talent here. But I think they're doing their job. I mean, we ran the ball fairly well, and I don't remember getting many sacks up the middle either. But if we can find better talent here, for sure, I'm going to pick them up. So in my notes for tackle, guard, and center, I have the best. That's all I put. Just trying to find the best guys we can possibly can find. Defensive end, we're going to lose one. I always like to have 4 to 5 on the roster at all times, but we're going to bring in some linebackers down here, and which means I'm not going to have to recruit really any defensive end. Kevin Nichols, he is our starter at left end for the next 2 to 3 years. We need somebody on the right end. I doubt we will get somebody who can come down and replace one of these guys, but there's a good chance that it might happen because we all know linebackers do really well when it's transition to defensive end, depending on how big they are and such, which we will talk about here shortly. Defensive tackles, real quick, there's not a whole lot I need to do here. All 4 of these guys are coming back. If I feel like I need to get one more, that would probably be a good idea. I like having one like in each class. That way you could just keep refilling them and not try to load up all at once if needed. Outside linebacker, we got too many guys here. We don't need any help whatsoever. And a couple of these guys, like this kid right here, Hayden McKinney, would be a really good defensive end. He's got the body for it, but I'm perfectly happy with him playing outside linebacker because Taps is leaving, even though he didn't even play much in the Dynasty. But it's all McCoy and Thornton. Both of them are sophomores, so we end up maybe moving McKinney later on in the video. We'll see. But here's the other thing. We got a ton of middle linebackers. Now, my entire strategy was to move Buttles and Blanks, the defensive end. Look how big these kids are. 6'5", 244, and 6'1", 249. Steve Williams could be a really good defensive end because look at his strength. That would translate really well. But I want him playing middle linebacker. I want him staying there, and I'm excited to see what's going to happen. But look at the guys ahead of him. Walker and Mason, they've been our dual starting middle linebackers all season, and they're just sophomores. We're very young here. Needless to say, we do not need any more middle linebackers on the roster. Corner, same situation. We're going to lose one, and that is Marshall. Marshall has done really well for us in the Dynasty. He's been our good nickel back. He's got the speed to come off the edge and get some sacks. As you can see there, he got 4 this year. We're going to miss him, but we can replace him. Look at all the speed I have, a 92, 94, 93. So I'm not too worried about who's going to play nickel. And, of course, our 2 starting corners are these 2 true freshmen who are going to just be just great for us by the time they leave. Free safety, Joe Allen. He started all season. This is the guy who I control the entire time. Just a sophomore. He's coming back. He'll probably start unless Ashley Brown does really well in training, which we'll talk about here in a minute. This is the kid that transferred from Penn State, and he's a little faster than Allen. So I may end up starting Brown next year and redshirting Allen just because of that speed. I need all the speed I can get when I'm out there. Strong safety. We got several bodies here. We're losing 2 of them. We got 2 coming back, which is actually more than enough. But I did write down in my notes that I may get 1 if he's really that good. Kicker, we don't need anybody. We're losing Feinberg. He's been our kickoff guy for a couple of seasons. He's done well there. But we got a guy who's a redshirt sophomore, so we got 2 years with Surgan. So we don't need any help here. And we got a true sophomore, 74 overall, at a punter. I doubt anytime you got a punter coming back, it's very hard for you to get a punter in that recruiting cycle. So that is it for looking at all these guys. One thing I really want to point out, though, is look at the total seniors. We already maxed out our roster at 70. We're going to lose 13 guys, which gets it down to 57. We already got 4 committed, which means we're going to have several spots. That's it, like 8 or 9. I don't like to over-recruit. We got enough good bodies across the board where I'm going to end up having to over-recruit true freshmen. As you can see, we got 28 freshmen on the team, and I don't want to over-recruit hardly any of them. So we're going to go over to recruiting. First of all, before we go to recruiting, look at the cover of the magazine. Scandal brewing. The Hurricanes are your disputed national champions, and what they're referring to is the top 25 polls. They're not going to show the BCS polls, but it's super close. Like Ohio State felt like they should have made it. I think that's what they're talking about. So let's go into recruiting, and we're going to look at the 4 guys we already got picking up. Kyle Young, the tight end. This is going to be the next legend at Duke in terms of skill player. Then Dustin McCoy, very good chance he may start. 4-star kid. He's really tall. He's fast. He's the perfect build for what I like in a wide receiver. Corey Clemens, very good chance he may be our starting left tackle next season, unless I pick up somebody better. And we got a 3-star in James Moss, who will probably red shirt. So what we're going to do is head into the offseason. We're going to hit yes. And go to the off-season schedule. We're going to go to school budgets. Now, we don't have a lot of spots to fill. And again, I do not want to over-recruit. It's just not my thing. If you're a terrible team, I get it. You want a roster turnover. But we don't need it, technically. I think we're doing just fine. So what I want to do is probably go 35. And we're probably going to do 45 for training. That should be enough. 35 just in case I need to spend just a ton of extra points on the 12 guys that I'm really going after hard. So I'm okay with that setup. And it looks like we have 3 guys that want to transfer. So this is interesting. Glenn Williams, a corner. I think he's like 4th or 5th on the depth chart. I honestly don't mind him leaving. Only downside, I'll bring this up right now. We got 3 guys that want to transfer. It would be more convenient if the players leaving section was before the school budgets. That way you could plan accordingly. But with Williams, he's never going to see the field. I'm going to check something really quick. We can check out he's got 94 speed. He would be like a good nickel for us. I'm going to do like the bare minimum and just see what happens. Like it looks like he really wants to leave. So let's just hit talking to staying. I can't make up my mind. I'm going to do that like maybe one more time. I haven't made up my mind yet. I'm going to let you go. I'm not going to bother with you. Brian Wade, this was the kid who's been technically starting for us last couple seasons. But ever since we switched to our passing game that doesn't have as many tight ends in our formations, he hasn't been seeing the field all that much. I'm going to go ahead and let him go just because we got the greatest tight end freshman ever coming in. Wade will never see the field with that new guy coming in along with Parker. So I'm okay with letting him go. Now, Marcus Jones, this is the kid that likes to run the ball a little bit. I'm actually okay with him leaving, just because that frees up some quarterback room later on. So I'm okay with that. He's not going to see the field this year. Plus, we got a guy who's just as good as he is in terms of the overall. So I'm okay with all 3 of these guys leaving. Before we head back into the video, I just wanted to point out a few things that I have in my store, starting off with the memory cards for the PlayStation 2 that has over 20 named roster files for all of the NCAA football games from 02 up to 11. And then, of course, I have all of my books that I have written over the years from my latest one, the West Coast Offense, the Air Raid Offense, and you got the Big Book of Tight Ends, the Power Shoot. Then you got the I Option, PA Read, Pro Dog, Run and Shoot, and so much more. So I will have a link in the top right and in the description below. So I wanted to give a quick shout out to the quarterback, Marcus Jones, who is transferring. We can't forget what he done for us. I forgot which game it was. My mind escapes me. But Gates got hurt, and Marcus Jones came in and bailed us out, and we ended up winning that game. Again, I forgot. Somebody in the comment section will remind me of that, I'm sure. But I just want to give a little kudos to him for the little contribution there. So here's the map. We got Tennessee as a pipeline still. I like Georgia as a pipeline. I'd love to turn South Carolina into one just because it's close, and maybe Virginia. We're going to keep Florida as a pipeline, and Texas is still technically a pipeline for us, and guess what? They still got California as a pipeline. So if we have some big-time studs from California and Texas still wanting to come here, yeah, I'll go ahead and recruit them. So what we're going to do here, we're going to go back to North Carolina. Let's go to recruiting reports, and I'm going to go straight to interested prospects. And here are a handful of 5-star kids interested, and it gets down to the 4-stars. So we're going to start from athlete and go forward. Now, I'm going to keep it pretty local or pipeline because we don't have a whole lot of points. We got 162 points, and it gets less as the weeks go on. So this kid is out of New York. I'm probably going to stay away from him, and he's a JUCO. I think I'm going to be okay with that without going after him. Here's an athlete out of North Carolina, local. He's 6'4", 241. An interesting setup. Now, I'm going to go ahead and scout him. I'm just curious to see what he's got. Awareness. You know, this is my one stipulation with my Dynasty. I like to bring in smart kids, so I'm not going to recruit this kid, even though he would come and he could probably do some damage for us, but I'm not going to do that. And we got some 3-stars. I'm actually going to hold off on these for now because we don't have as many points to play with yet. Gary Cox, a 3-star kid out of North Carolina. His arm, he's a pocket passer. We technically don't need him, so I'm not going to bother. So we're going to keep on going. Okay, halfbacks. Let's look at these 2 kids. Louisiana kid, I know he's not a pipeline, but I want to at least look at him. And this kid would pretty much be our next drummer if he wanted to come here. Michael Hill, B awareness, that's good enough for me. Hands look good. Looks like he's a little bit stronger than what it appeared. So I'm going to go ahead and put a scholarship on him. We're going to do the bare minimum and just do program prestige. Here's a kid out of Florida, Marcus Huff. Look how fast this kid is. 4.29, A-. This is the kid we want right here. Look how tall he is, too. This would be an ideal fit for replacing Drummer. I'm going to put a scholarship on him. We got a bunch of 4 stars that I'm going to wait because we got other fish to fry. So let's just keep on going for now. We don't need to worry about fullback. Wide receiver, we're kind of done here, so I'm not too worried about any of these kids. Like, here's a kid out of Florida, C+ awareness. I can scout him, see what he's into, but I'm going to wait on that one. Another kid, look at this, 6'5", 176. That is skinny as can be. I'm going to scout him. He's local, but he's not very smart, so we'll skip him. And here's another 3-star. I'm being very generous by going after some of these kids. This kid is worth going after right here. 6'3", 185, Dennis Culberson. That's a mouthful, but a 4.22, A awareness, and A+ hands. Yes, I don't mind going after him. This will probably be the one receiver we'll go after, and I'll be fine with that. Tight end, we're good here. We got the best tight end in the country coming, so we don't have to worry about going after this 1-star kid who wants to come. Tackle, this is a bit of an issue. We only got one guy that's interested, but we still got the week 2 and week 3 thing to look at. But he's out of West Virginia. We can scout him and see what we're dealing with. A+ awareness, 6'7", 283. I wish he was a little bit heavier. I'm not going to put a scholarship on him yet. West Virginia isn't too far, but I'm going to wait and see first. But we'll just scout him for now. Guard, this isn't good. We don't have any guards that want to come. Same with center, so trying to improve the offensive line is going to be a challenge unless we luck out on the week 2 deal. Defensive ends, I don't need to go after any of these. We are fine with linebackers that are already on the team. Defensive tackle. Let's look at a couple of these. Now, this kid right here, he's a JUCO. He's the #1 defensive tackle in the country, but he's really small. I'm not too keen on going after him. He's probably pretty smart, and it looks like he is, but he's a little too small for my liking, and I really don't need any JUCOs. We don't need help that badly. This kid, maybe, he's 6'2", 274. I want somebody a little bit bigger, so let's look at a few of these other 3-star kids before I move on. Kid out of Virginia, this kid may be worth it. 285, 89. Here's a 302. Look how short he is. 5'11". I like to find some behemoths, but I'm not really seeing it. This kid may be worth it, but he's a 2-star. But the odds of him being B, I think I may actually go after him. I know he's a 2-star kid, but I love the size. You can't teach that stuff. So I may just take the chance here. He won't play for another 2 or 3 seasons. I can't tell if he's strong enough or not. I don't have the stat chart thing in front of me. But I'm going to go ahead and put a scholarship on him just because it's so rare to find a defensive tackle that big. So I don't mind putting one on him. All right, outside linebacker, we do not need anybody here. He's a JUCO, but I don't need him. I love his size, though. He looks like a complete beast, but we don't need him. Same with middle linebacker. I'm not going to bother. Corner. Now, I do not have corner listed. We got 4 coming back. If we find somebody that's like perfect, and he's a freshman, then I'll go after him. I don't need a JUCO. We already got starters. We don't need anybody else technically. But if we found like a 6'8" corner, then I may go after him. A lot of these guys are just 6 feet or nothing, so I'm not interested in any of these kids, to be honest. They don't fit what I want. And we're getting down to the 3-star level, which I don't need to go that far. Free safety. I do not have that listed. We're kind of fine here, so I'm not worried about going after any of these kids. Strong safety. I would like to get one, but I don't see any. 4.73. Who's going to go after that kid? I haven't scouted him, but still. Here's a Florida kid, 4.35. I like his size. Let's scout him. B, 4.41. I'm actually okay with that kid. I may go after him possibly out of Conway, Florida. Blake Phillips. Kyle Robinson out of Georgia. Let's scout him. 4.46 with an A awareness. 4.41, 4.46. It doesn't really matter. I like this kid better. I like that he's tall. I think that's just pretty cool to have a 6'5" strong safety. So I think I may go after him. So I think what we'll do is just put a scholarship on him for now. And here's a 2-star kicker that's interested. We don't need him. Same with, we got a 1-star punter out of Brentwood, Tennessee. That's just outside of Nashville. I'm not going to go after him. We don't really need him. So that is it. We got some other, look at all these 4 and 5 stars kids that, you know, we can go back to, let's go back to athlete. I don't mind taking chances on some of these kids. Now, I'm not going to go after him. Here's another kid out of North Carolina, C-, 6'1", 181. He's probably a wide receiver. I'm not going to bother. 6'8", 266, JUCO out of New York, but he's C-. Virginia, out of Vermont, this kid is C+. Now we're getting to the 2-star. So I'm not seeing anything that really piques my interest. We can go back to halfback, and you can see there's just several 4-star kids that may be worth looking into. But I think what I may do, like here's a kid out of Texas, Florida, New Jersey, and Georgia. I bet a lot of these kids would really love to come here, but we don't need many. We just need one good one. And to be honest, I want this kid more than the rest. So here's what I'm going to do. This is week 1. We haven't got to our week 2 thing yet. We got 108 points left. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to current targets. And these 5 kids we're going to go after, I'm going to go full blast on all of them. I'm going to go a max of 30. Got to remember, I don't have a whole lot of spots to fill, so I don't need a huge list of players right here. I'm going to do 30 for him. We're going to do 30 for this kid. And we're going to do 15 for the wide receiver. And we're going to go this little 2-star kid. We'll go 8 points. And that's about as max as I can go. I got 4 points left. I can go after somebody else, but I'm not too worried about that. I mean, we can go back to interested prospects and scout somebody else like a local kid. Let's go back to our state prospects. And you see this athlete that we're not going to go after. He's just not smart enough, unfortunately. Otherwise, I'd go after him. 3-star corner. See, none of this really excites me. Like, I can scout this kid. Yeah, C-. So now we're down to just 1 point, which I'm okay with there. So let's head into week 2. As expected, we did not get any commitments in week 1. It's super rare for that to happen. So that doesn't surprise me. So now it's week 2. We're going to go back to interested prospects and kind of see where we're at with some of these kids. Now, no, current targets, I'm sorry. We're going to go back and look at these 5 guys and see where we're at. Now, Marcus Huff, looks like we're in great shape for this kid out of Florida. Let's see. Program prestige, he loves it. So we're going to go and just put 8 points on it for now. We will adjust this later. Very good chance we're going to get this kid. How about this kid? We don't know what he likes yet. Let's do coach prestige for now. We'll just do the minimum until we figure out what he likes. Blake Phillips, strong safety. We don't know what he likes yet. I'll just do coach prestige. That's usually the second most popular. Wide receiver, Dennis Culberson. Same thing with him. We don't know what he likes. And then this defensive tackle, I'm going to go location for him. A lot of 2-star kids seem to like that, so let's go 2 points there. And that is it for those 5 guys. Now it is week 2, which means we're going to go to interested prospects, and we're going to figure out where we can find some of these other kids that wasn't, we weren't in their top 5. So what we're going to do is go to all prospects, and we're going to start here. Out of the gate, look at there, the #1 player in the country, an athlete, Daniel Gant, got upset that we didn't go after him, which means we got a chance, but we're going to look and see what we're dealing with. Let's start off with athlete. Now, how many points have we got? We got 174 points to play with. So what we're going to do, let's scout this kid. We're going to have to write his name down, and we will forget. D. Gant, I love his awareness. It's an A. That's good enough. 429. This may be the kid that may end up being our new drummer. So we're going to write his name down. We're going to go A. Gant. And we're going to put athlete. And I'm only going to go down to the 4 stars, and that's it. So here is, that's a kid that was already interested in us. Here's another 4-star, Jason Lumpkin out of Alabama. Let's look and see what we're dealing with here. 4'6", he's got an A awareness with 6'4", 225. The fact that he doesn't even have the hands rating on there tells me he's probably a defensive player. He may be a linebacker of some sort. I'm going to go ahead and write his name down. We're going to go with J. Lumpkin. And he is an athlete. And he was the last 4-star. So let's go on to quarterback. Here's a 4-star kid, Tyler Roberson. You can say that a couple different ways. I'm going to guess it's probably Roberson. Out of Georgia. Look at this. Let's scout him. This is what I like. He's a pocket passer. He's got a great arm. He'd be great to be our 5th guy since we lost somebody. So I don't mind going after him. So let's go T. Roberson. And he is a QB. Let's look at a few other guys. And again, as far as I go is the 4 stars. And that's it for the 4s. Halfback, I'm not going to bother here. There's really no point. We are going to get a couple of halfbacks anyways, and I'm probably going to end up getting too many of them. So I'm going to keep on going. Fullback, we don't need. Wide receiver, let's look here. Here's a couple of receivers. Marcus Akindona. That's a great name. Let's scout him. It's a B. It's good enough. A minus. I'm going to go ahead and at least write his name down. We're going to go M-A-K-I-N. I'm going to just put a period there and wide receiver. Here's another one out of Pennsylvania, JUCO kid. I like his size, though. We'll at least scout him. You never know. This could be the next Buttles. Look at this. 4.24. A+ awareness, A+ hands. This kid is like a Randy Moss in a sense. Look, I mean, as big as he is, he's got good weight on him, too. And he's kind of perfect. A+ hands, A+ awareness. This kid is like the real deal. So let's go ahead and write his name down. Peterson. He may be my slot receiver next year. If I'm going to get a JUCO kid, I want him to play quite a bit. Otherwise, we're just wasting points on that kid. Here's another 4-star receiver. Bryce McDonald, 6 feet, 174. Let's go ahead and scout him out of Michigan. I don't really care about the location with some of these kids. I at least want to put their names down. Really fast. He's really smart. He can catch the ball. Let's just go ahead and write his name down. So Bryce McDonald. Bryce Mickey D. Then we got... He is a wide receiver, and we got a 135 points. We need to be careful with our points. Let's look at some more 4-stars. A lot of 4-star receivers in this class. Here's a kid out of Tennessee. This is one of our pipelines. Look how big he is. Does that look familiar to you? 6'8", 225. Let's scout him. A-, 4.43, A- hands. I want to recruit him just because he's humongous. So let's do that. Let's write the name down at least. Travis Davis. Wide receiver. So our wide receiver group is going to get a little bit better, I think, by the time this class is all sewn up. So let's go to tight end. We don't need anybody here. We got the best guy coming in, so we're okay there. Here's where we need some help. We need somebody that is halfway interested in coming here. And right now, it's not looking all that good. None of these 4-stars want to come. None of these 3-stars want to come. So it looks like our tackle position is going to be kind of iffy. Here's a kid out of Kentucky, 6'3", 308. I'll at least scout him. Steve Lawrence. I'll definitely write his name down because we need help. He is a tackle. A+ awareness. That's good enough for me. 730 on the squat. He's big enough. I think he can fit in our program. I normally don't want to go down to these 3-star kids, but you know, with our offensive line, we need help. And we're just getting unlucky on recruiting offensive linemen in this dynasty for whatever reason. That's probably as far as I go for now. Let's just go to guard. Would love to find some behemoths here, and I'm very specific on what I want at guard. First of all, we need to find somebody who's actually interested in us. Look at all these 4-star guards. There are a ton of them. And that's about it. So no guards are interested. How about centers? Not looking good. And now we're already down to the 3-star kids. So it looks like our offensive line group is not going to look all that great in terms of the recruiting class. That means we have to prioritize the offensive line in the regular season next year, which we will do that. Okay, defensive end. Look at all these defensive ends that want to come. I'm not going to go after any of them. We got linebackers that will play a whole lot better than any of these kids ever will. So we're going to skip that. Let's look at some defensive tackles. We already looked at that kid, the JUCO, and I'm sure he was the one. We don't need him. He's too small. I want somebody that's humongous, and we're going after that little 2-star kid. As far as I go was the 4-star. Here's a couple of 4-star kids. 276, 301 out of Tennessee. Yes, let's look at this one. A-, 6'2", 301. I want him. So let's go M. Joseph. We'll do this. M. Joseph. And he is a defensive tackle. Do I need a... Okay, I scouted him. Just wanted to make sure. Here's another defense tackle. 286. I'm going to keep going. 279. I want some size. So now we're down to a 3-star and a JUCO. So we're going to bypass those. We don't need anybody at outside linebacker, although the #1 outside linebacker in the country is interested in us. I'm curious. We got plenty of points. He's not very smart, so I'm going to bypass him. But it didn't hurt to check. I'm not going to even bother with middle linebackers. We got too many of them. Corner. We kind of need help here, I guess, because we just lost one that we weren't expecting. Looks like there's a couple of them that may be interested in us. How about this kid right here? Kenneth Buchanan out of Mississippi. Let's scout him. He's probably the one we need to get. 4'26", 6'2", B hands, which was actually pretty good for a corner. let's go ahead and just write his name down. We're going to go K. Buchanan, and he may be the one that we will pick up this go-round. We'll scout him. Some of these other ones I wasn't really impressed with. Here's a 4-star. JUCO, again, we don't really need. 426. He's pretty smart, pretty tall. I'll go ahead and write his name down. Chad Todd, corner. And we are still seeing a bunch of guys who are already interested in us. Now we got 3-star kids, so I think we're fine. Free safety, we're kind of good here. I don't really need any help. We already have a few guys coming back. So, like, even this 4-star kid in New Jersey, I'm not really interested in him. We're fine there. Strong safety, I would like to get one. Looks like the top 3 out of the 6 safeties in the country are interested in us at least. Kid out of Mississippi, let's scout him. 4.46, good on the potential. All that looks pretty good. So I'm going to at least write his name down. The only thing that worries me about him, he's kind of short. So I'm not going to scout him this yet, but I will at least put the name down because you just never know. I want somebody who's a little bit faster, a little bit taller. We're going to strong safety. Let's look at this kid right here. This is the kid I want. Kid out of Ohio. Yes, we need to go after this kid. Greg Freeman. He is ideal. 4.35. Do you know how fast that is for a strong safety? That's quick. Look how tall he is, too. And he's smart. This is the ideal strong safety. This is who I want. So cross your fingers. Hopefully he'll be interested in us in the next week. Then we got a kid out of Texas, 6'2". Oh, look at that. His awareness jumped up big time, and it is a pipeline state. I'll go ahead and write his name down. K. Parham. I guess that's Parham. I don't know how you want to pronounce that. And now we're down to the 3 stars. Kickers, I'm just quickly looking through. And same with punters. Looks like none of them are really interested, which doesn't surprise me. So let's go back to current targets. Now we are down to these guys. Week 3 is where we're going to look at some of the week 2 guys we just recruited. But from here going forward, we're going to max out this kid. We don't know what this kid likes, so we're going to wait just for now. Blake Phillips, we don't know yet. I'm just looking through my pluses, and I think we only had one of them, which was the Huff kid. So we've maxed this kid out. We're good here. Let's go to Michael Hill. Let's go ahead and we can do this. We can max him out. I'm fine with that. We can max this kid out. We can do 8 here, and we're down to 7. We can do 4 there. I could probably max out somebody else, or I could probably, like, down to 13 points. What we can do is we're going to take the points off of him. I keep messing this up. I'm sorry. Let's do that. Oh, I need to check something. Okay, let's do 4. Ah, dang it. It keeps messing up on me. I'm sorry for this. Let's do this. There we go. And let's do 8 here. I mean, we don't need it. Don't need it that bad. Let's just go back up. I'm not too worried about those other 5 points. We can put them elsewhere. Or I'm okay. 5 points, that's not a big deal. So let's head on to week 3. As expected, we picked up Michael Hill. This is not the kid who committed that was already had a positive pitch. This is the kid. Oh, this is the kid. This is the one that was already interested in us. He had the positive pitch. Good. So we picked up the running back we need. I will probably end up getting that other one. So at least we got one guy in the fold. So now what we're going to do is go back to current targets. And let me make sure anybody has decommitted. It looks like it hasn't. And we're down to these 4. Now, this strong safety went down for whatever reason. Let's start at the very top. Marcus Huff. This is a kid I really want. Programmer stage. I thought we picked that earlier. Oh, this is okay. That's right. Never mind. I was correct. So we're going to max out on him. Might as well. And we don't know what this kid is into. Let's just do coaching style for now. For Phillips, for whatever reason, he's just not interested in us. We went down. Don't know why. Let's do coaching style for him, maybe. Let's do 1 point until we figure out what he likes. And this defensive tackle, he likes location. That doesn't shock me. Let's do 8 there for now. So now what we're going to do is head in over to all prospects, or interested prospects, sorry. And now we're going to see some different guys. Some new guys. For example, Daniel Gant. This kid is a must get. Athlete, number 1 in the country. He's very fast. He doesn't have good hands. He may be a really fast halfback, or he could probably play something else. Either way, we are going to recruit him. We just don't know what he likes yet, but we're going to at least put the scholarship on him. Okay, who else do we have on our list for athlete? Lumpkin. Is Lumpkin on this list? No, he's not. So he did not make it on the list. He may come back for week 3. We'll see. Next up, we have a quarterback, Roberson. It's this kid right here. We made his top 5, which is good. I don't mind going after him. We just need to figure out what he's into. So we'll go coach prestige. We'll do that. And we're fine at halfback. We already got one committed, and we're very good chance we're going to get Huff, so I'm going to bypass all of that. We got a bunch of receivers that we're interested in. Start off with this kid right here, Akindona. We made his list, and he likes our program prestige. And everything looks good right here. Before we do that, let's look at a couple other kids just to make sure. Peterson. This was another kid that I really wanted. He's like the Randy Moss, but the JUCO version. We're definitely going to put a scholarship on him. And we'll go up and get this kid right here out of Texas. Might as well. We'll do 12 for now. We'll raise that later. And then next up, we have Mickey D. Where's he at? Is he on the list? I don't see him. Brian McDaniel or Brian McDonald maybe. Doesn't look like he's on the list. So that was all of the wide receivers unless there's a Davis. I don't see Davis on here either. So it's those two guys that we will go after. So our wide receiver core is going to be pretty nasty in this recruiting class. We didn't look at any tight ends. We looked at a tackle. Is he on the list? And that is Lawrence. There he is. So here is the kid that we'll probably end up getting, 6'3", 308. I want to compare him to this kid. 426, 70, 527, 30. So this is the kid we got to get for sure. So let's go ahead and just do like coach prestige for now until we figure out what he's into. Our next stop is a defensive tackle. We wrote down Joseph. Is Joseph on this list? And it looks like he is not. He may come back for week 4. Let's look at corners. We had 2 guys we went after. And here they are, Buchanan and Todd. Buchanan, 6'2", 166. This is just ideal fit for us. Let's go ahead and just put a scholarship on him. And the other one is Chad Todd. This kid is ideal for us, a JUCO. I definitely mind on going after him. We'll just go coach prestige for now until we figure out what he likes. Now we got strong safeties. We have Hayes. Then we got Freeman, and we got Parham. So these are the top 3 that we went after. Now, this is the kid I want right here, Greg Freeman. That's about as good as a looking as a strong safety I've ever seen. It looks like he really wants to go to Ohio State, but I'm going to put a scholarship on him. We can look at these other 2. Don't know what he's into yet. And same for Parham. We don't know what he's into yet. And how many scholarships do we have? We got 8 spots left. And strong safety isn't a huge need for us. So I'm going to have Freeman there for now. And we got how many points left? 113. That's the only one I really want to go after. I'm not ready to... I mean, we can go ahead and put a scholarship on him. That's fine. I would prefer to have this kid above the other ones. So I'm going to just take my chances to go after this one for now. I want to use the rest of these points on our current targets. For example, this kid right here. We don't know what he's into, but I'm going to do 16 for now. This kid, we're going to do like 8. And we can adjust these later. We've maxed out this kid. We don't know what this kid is into. Let's do 16 here. Let's do 16 here. And we're going to max out 45 for this kid. It's worth it. And we'll do 16 here. Todd, we don't know what he's into yet. We'll do 4 here. And strong safety, Blake Phillips. I guess that's as far as we can go there. Wide receiver, we can do 2 points here. Now I can... Looks like we're going to max out at 8 points there. So I got 1 point left. I really don't care. I'm not going to try to find a way to use that extra points. I'm okay with that. So we've used up everything. So what we're going to do now is head into the next week and see if we get any more commitments. And here we go. Daniel Gant, the athlete, a week 2 prospect, committed really quickly. It's untelling where he's going to end up. I'm excited to see where he may end up going. Now we get getting the other halfback, Marcus Huff. I'm really excited about this kid. Because of his speed, he's just our next drummer and probably going to be a lot more talented to boot. And we picked up that little 2-star defensive tackle, so I can check off some things. I'm going to check off the defensive tackle, the halfback, and a couple other things. I think we're okay everywhere else. So next up, what we're going to do is go back to our current targets and look at some of these other guys that we are going after. Wide receivers, I'm just trying to look. I want this kid. I'm just making sure we are still going after needs, and looks like we are. Even that corner. So let's keep going. Program prestige, or coach prestige. That's good. He liked that. Let's go here. Coach prestige. Good deal. We'll go 16 there. Look at that. Coach prestige. That's working for a lot of these kids. Program prestige for this kid. Let's do 12 for now. We'll adjust that later. Coaching style. Let's change it to that until we figure out what he's into. Corner. Coach prestige. Good deal. Put him down. Next up, we got coach prestige. Good deal. That worked. And wide receiver Culberson. We don't know what he's like yet. Let's do location for him since he's a local kid. And that is it for all of those. Do we have anybody that is going elsewhere? Strong safety, Blake Fields. For whatever reason, if you remember in week 2, we had a down arrow from him. And it just kind of went downhill from that for whatever reason. So that's something to keep in mind. If you see anybody go down with an arrow, you may not have a chance of getting him. But that's not always the case. But we're going to remove him. I'm seeing nothing but positives going up for a lot of these kids. So let's go back to interested prospects. And I'm just going to go quickly see if anybody else came back in. So here's the Lumpkin kid. You remember, this is a week 2 prospect that took him a couple weeks to get here to this point, to get us in his top 5. It looks like he really wants to go to Auburn. We may be wasting our time with this kid, but I'm going to go ahead and at least put a scholarship on him to see if he at least is someone interested in us. That was the other athlete. We already looked at the quarterback, Roberson. He's coming in. We've already looked at our wide receivers. We put our Davis was one of them. Okay, this was another kid, 3-star, or the 4-star kid out of Tennessee. We may have a good chance with him. I'm going to go ahead and put a scholarship on him. Might as well. Sometimes it takes to week 3 to get these kids. And next up, we got a tackle. We're already going after him, which is this kid right here. I almost feel compelled to go after this kid. I think we probably need to just to get another body. Let's just put a scholarship on him. I may have been way too late on this kid, but I think we got a chance. We're still number 1 in his list because we need all the help in the world, and maybe he can be a good stud for us. Who knows? 1-star guards, we're not going to bother. The other ones was next up was a defensive tackle, Joseph. Here he is, right here, and just like that, we made his list. So we're going to go coach prestige. So it looks like about a third of the list of week 2 kids are now finally got us in their top 5. We're going to add him to the list. And then we got a couple of corners. I think we're already going after a couple of these. Buchanan and Todd. So next up is strong safety. And here are the 3 guys. This is the kid I want really badly, but it looks like he really wants to go. I'm going to go 30 on that kid. Maybe that'll be enough. Do I have... How many strong safeties am I going after now? Just 1? I may need to go after one of these other ones. It says as a backup. Because there's a good chance he's going to go to Ohio State, but you never know. Let's go after this kid out of Texas. I like his height, and he's a little bit faster than this kid. So let's go ahead and put a scholarship on him. He's going to be my backup strong safety, just in case Freeman doesn't work out. And that is all of the kids. So let's go back to current targets, and let's see if we can max some things out. We're going to max out the 30 for this one. We've maxed him out. We can do something like this for that kid. Can I max this kid out? Looks like I can't. Let's just leave it there for now. The rest of these may be kind of tough. We can do 4 points for him. We're down to 3 points. What I probably can do is... I'm not worried about the wide receiver. The athlete, I don't mind doing 4 right there. Kid out of Kentucky, we're okay there. 2 points for that. We need 1 more point to put somewhere. Probably this kid right here. There we go. So we've used up all of our points. Okay, so that was a good week. So let's head into the next week, which is going to be the final week. See if we can bring in some more kids. So we picked up the JUCO corner out of Florida, Chad Todd. He may end up being our nickelback. We'll just see. It's kind of a crowded cornerback room, which isn't a bad thing. Dennis Culberson, a 3-star kid out of North Carolina, the local product. I liked everything that showed right there. I mean, he looks perfect. 4.22, A on the awareness, A+ on the hands, and he's tall. So I like getting him. And let's go to current targets and see what we got to deal with. So this Davis kid, we went down on his list. I'm going to go ahead and cut ties with him. I think we are okay to withdraw that offer. I don't need him on the list. I do need to go and see if anybody else committed elsewhere. The Freeman kid. As expected, I kind of was thinking he would go to Ohio State. We saw that earlier, that bar was way high. Even though he liked our pitch, it was just too much for us to overcome Ohio State. So we're going to get rid of him. Here's another strong safety, the Parham kid. So he committed to Florida. Maybe it was too late for me going after him. The quarterback, he's committed elsewhere. Athlete Lumpkin, just a little too late for some of these kids. So what we need to do, we got all these other kids. What I want to do is go back to interested prospects. The only one that concerned me was we didn't get the strong safety. We need somebody there. So what we're going to do is go over to... He went to Wake Forest, by the way, that quarterback. I'll try to remember that. We're at this point. So we have to decide. Let's just scout a couple of kids. 448, A+. Again, we got 2 guys coming back already. Technically, we got 3, it looks like. So we don't really need a body here, but I'm just looking. You just never know. This kid is way too slow. I'm not going to bother. So we're not going to bother with these strong safeties. I think we're okay there. Everything else, I should have marked a lot of these kids' names off, and I didn't. I'm going to go back through here really quick. Gant and Lumpkin, those guys are out of the way. We can mark them out. We can mark out the Roberson kid. Wide receiver. Akadona and Peterson, I'm going to just go ahead and mark them off. They're already on our list. The McDonald kid, he never made it on this list from what I can tell. So I'm going to mark him out. The Davis kid, I went ahead and took him out as well. We are okay at wide receiver. We already got 3 committed and going after 2 others. So we don't have to worry about that. The Lawrence kid, I really wanted them, and I really want Williamson, so we can mark him out. The Joseph kid, just want to make sure we can mark him off. And he is already on our list, so I can mark him out. Buchanan, he's the one who committed, if I'm not mistaken. No, we're going after him still. It's the Todd kid that ended up committing. And a strong safety, these other guys committed elsewhere. Hayes, Freeman, and Parents. So we can mark all of them out. So we are kind of good elsewhere. So all we got left to do is just go back to our target list and finish out the rest of these guys and see who we can pick up. So we got 6 guys left. Let's max out the guys who really want to come here. Like this kid right here. We're going to max this kid out. We're going to max this kid out. I know that's a whole lot for a player like that. We're going to do coach prestige or coach style for now. We're going to max out here in a minute as best we can. We're going to do 16 points for this kid. And we can't even do anything with this tackle. Like, we're just out of points, aren't we? So, and this was our number 6 guy. So what we can do, let's go back to this Akandona kid. And I'm going to do 24 for him. And this Lawrence kid, can we do 30? I think that's a smart decision. Go after the Lawrence kid, put the points on there. I'll do 4 points for this kid. We'll do coach prestige. If I could put the right one on him. There we go. So we got 3 points left. I can go... We can probably put them on somebody else. We may not be able to. We don't have enough. We can do something like that. Now we're down to 1 point for the Joseph kid and the Williamson kid. I think we've maxed out everywhere else. 1 point. I'm not too worried about trying to use that anywhere else because we've maxed out all these other guys up top. So that is it. We are going to head in and look at our final recruiting class and see how it's going to shape up. And this is a good way to end the recruiting class. We picked up the 5-star corner, Kenneth Buchanan. We picked up those 2 wide receivers, Akandona and Peterson. And we end up getting those 2 tackles, which is a good thing. We need some bodies there. I don't know if they're good enough. We're going to find out here shortly. But that is a good haul right there. So let's go and check out our signings first. Let's look at those just really quickly. We got the big 5-star athlete, the number 1 in the country. I'm really excited to see where he's going to end up. Halfback, 2 5-star kids. Both of them are going to be studs for us. I may end up redshirting 1 because I'm not going to play 3. I'd rather just play 2. You look at wide receiver, a pretty good haul. 3 4-star kids and 2 3-star kids. Not bad. On most of these kids are fairly tall to boot. This may be the most exciting player on our in our recruiting class. Kyle Young, best looking tight end I've ever seen coming out of high school. Then you got tackles. We got 3 of them. We may end up moving somebody to guard possibly if need be. You look at our defensive tackle, the 1 2-star kid. The only reason why I went after him is because he's humongous. Then you got cornerback, 5-star kid and a 4-star kid. These are the two week 2-star, or the 2 week 2 players that we picked up. Always forget that, or always remember the week 2 thing is very helpful. Then that is it for our signing class. We ended up getting, I don't know how many, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. That's a good number. We lost the 3 extra guys from the transfer portal, I guess. So that's going to be working out okay. We may end up only having to cut like 1 or 2 players. Let's go to top classes, see where we ended up. Look who made the top spot. Ohio State. They cleaned up all the awards. They did not make to the national championship game, but they did pick up that safety that I really wanted. I wonder how far we got down here. We need to pay attention to the ACC schools as well. Duke, there we are. We're 8th in the country. Not bad for only picking up 15 players, but 5 stars. Really exciting. There's Miami, number 10. Virginia. Then you have, Maryland. I think we may play them pretty soon. Wake Forest, Boston College, Georgia Tech, and Florida State. So what? At least 6, half of the ACC ended up with the top 25 class. All right, let's finalize recruiting. Now we have position changes. This is probably my favorite part of all this, outside of recruiting, of course. Now, we didn't pick up any quarterbacks, so there's really nothing to see here. Halfbacks. Looks like Huff and Hill are 80 overall, those 2 true freshmen. That was pretty cool to see. Fullback, we don't have to move anybody around. Wide receiver, we picked up a few guys here. Malcolm Peterson, wow, look at that. 82 overall, JUCO. I wonder if his awareness, 65, that's actually pretty good for somebody that's brand new. But look at, I've never seen a JUCO that high. Oh, except for one. I'll take that back. That's the greatest player I've ever picked up, which I've talked about in the past. But that's an awesome pickup. Then he got the McCoy kid. That's the kid from the regular season that we got. Akindona is the other true freshman that we picked up. Culberson is another one. So we got a ton of wide receivers. Probably too many. But at least now we got a good group here to work with. Tight end, Kyle Young, 80 overall. Pretty good for a true freshman. 76 speed, 76 on the catch. Really excited about him. And he's got the same awareness as those other 2 guys. So Young and Parker, we may end up doing something here to get both of them on the field at the same time. I'll figure that out. Tackle, Lawrence, yes, amazing pickup. 3-star tackle is an 80 overall. That is incredible. He is now technically our most talented tackle. We're fixing to do some training. I'm sure Warren and some of these other guys are going to go up. But that is a great pickup. And look at here, Corey Clemens, 76 overall. That's good. That's the kid out of the regular season. And Kyle Williamson, this is the kid out of West Virginia. At 68, I doubt he'll ever play, but he's on the team at least. And if you notice, we only got 71 players on the team, which means we got to cut somebody. Guard, we need to move somebody here. We got 78, 76, and 72. We will move. We need to pick the guy who's like the strongest that we can move over. Like Clement, we can't move a true freshman. That'll mess it up. This kid may be a good one. Kenneth Wright. He's at a 68. I'm trying to think who. 6'5", 302. 68 there. I'm trying to think who's got a good run blocking skills. So it's either going to be Wright or Sherman. We need to move somebody to right to guard. I just don't know who. He's going to redshirt. Lawrence is going to start at left tackle. Warren's going to be our starter at right tackle. So I don't know if this kid will ever play. So we may just move him to guard. I hate to do that. We'll go ahead and do it. Is it worth it? We need an extra body here. We got no choice. Maybe that'll be a good transition for him. We're going to put him at right guard. Left guard, right guard. I think I'm okay with all that. Center, I'm okay with having 2 on the team. I'm fine with this. That's not a big deal. Defensive end, we're going to move some linebackers down here shortly. We got Nichols and a couple other guys. Of course, this guy started for us last year as well. Defensive tackle. This is the true freshman, 62 overall. That wasn't a very good pickup. I took a chance, but at least I got somebody who's really big. I really don't want to cut him if I don't have to. Okay, linebacker. Thornton, McCoy, McKinney. All these guys I really don't want to move. These are going to be my 2 starters. I think I'm okay with all of that. It's these couple of guys I want to move down. We're going to move down Buttles and Blanks to defensive end. We're going to go right in. And we're going to go left end. And that makes the middle linebacker position a little more manageable. I may end up cutting the Zach Smith kid. Let's go back to defensive end, make sure I got everybody where I want them. Very good chance that I'm going to put this guy right in. How about that? Very good chance that both these guys are going to explode in their training. We're going to find out here really shortly. So we're good at outside linebacker. We're good at middle linebacker. Corner, we picked up a couple of guys. True freshman, 78 overall. Then he got the Todd kid at 74. So those weren't too bad of a pickups, but we're good at corner for the next 2 to 3 seasons. I don't need to move anybody. Free safety, we're in a good spot here with Allen, Brown, and Harper. Strong safety, we did not pick up anybody, but we got 3 guys here. Again, we're finding strong safety. Kicker, we're good there. Punter, we're good there. So it all comes down to this kid right here. Daniel Gant. How special is this kid going to be? Let's start off at quarterback, no. Halfback, it's possible. Yes, 82, that's pretty good coming out of the gate. But we got plenty of bodies at halfback. Let's see if he can play somewhere else. Hopefully he can go somewhere. We don't know where. It may be just halfback. Defensive end at 87, that's hilarious. If you go back and look, he's not big enough to play defensive end, but it's cool to see him being that talented there. Defensive tackle, interesting. He's a 74 overall defensive tackle. Outside linebacker, pretty good. Not bad. 76, 78, and 76. Probably going to put him at a safety position. I mean, I would love to put him at halfback, but we got 2 true freshmen here that are ready in the wings. We don't need another one. We got plenty of bodies there. So we need to go back and figure out where else he can best play at. It needs to be close to that 82 if possible. I mean, again, I can't put him at defensive end. He's not big enough. 74, 78 at outside linebacker. 76, 78, or so he can play about any of these positions. So let's look at our outside linebacker situation. I don't need a ton of weight here, but I would like to have some speed. 235, 227. Look, junior, freshman. We're kind of okay here. You know, I mean, he won't start if I move him over here now. Free safety, I got to look. We got junior, sophomore, and sophomore. Strong safety, senior, sophomore, freshman. We're just kind of okay everywhere. So this kid isn't going to play for a while. I'm not going to put him at free safety. We are good there. That ain't going to make a whole lot of difference. I could put him at corner. But again, is he going to play any? We already got guys that are just as good, if not better than him. So it's bad timing for him, to be honest. Sophomore at 86. I could probably put him here. Gallagher, awareness at 72. I just can't put him at halfback. We got bodies here. We're already good. So let me go back and look at it one more time. 82, we got too many bodies. 70, 40, 40. You got defensive end again. He's just not big enough. Height and weight does matter in this game. We can't put him there. He can play outside linebacker. That may be a good spot for him only because of how fast he is. Like, he is absolutely blazing fast. He'd be the fastest outside linebacker I would ever have. So I may be thinking there. Either there or possibly at free safety maybe. Or maybe even strong safety. Let me go back and look at my safeties one more time. I'm sorry if I got to think. I got to be smart about this. We got a junior. We got a sophomore. And that true freshman, Gant, is not as good as either of those two. So it'll be a while before he ever gets to be on the field playing free safety. Strong safety. We got a senior. He may have a chance here at strong safety. I like the idea of having him some speed at strong safety because my strong safety plays just as much as the free safety in terms of doing coverages and whatnot. But again, Gallagher is going to go up in his training. So it's either strong safety or outside linebacker. So let me look at the outside linebackers one more time. McCoy, that's his spot for life. And Thornton Jr., then we got freshman. Some of these guys are going to go up as well. And I would like to have at least a little bit of size here. Again, I'm so sorry. It's going to take me a little bit to think about where to put him. I think I'm going to take the chance. I've never done this before. I think I'm going to put him an outside linebacker. We're going to put him over at left. And we're going to put him there. So we're going over to outside linebacker. Oh my gosh. 86, 86, 89. Freshman. Let's put him as strong safety. We need speed there. And we got plenty of outside linebackers as is. His awareness is a 65 there. Let's go put strong safety there. And he's a 65 there regardless. So I'm okay with putting him there. Oh, man, it's such a tough choice. I need speed back here more than I need an outside linebacker. So we're going to put him as strong safety. I'm okay with that. Okay, that's where we're going to put him. So we are done with position changes. Now let's look at training. We put a ton of points in the training, so this should go really well for us. Let's start off with our quarterbacks. Gates went up 4. Michael Jones, the redshirt fresh, went up 6 and 4 and 4. So everything went up really well here. Halfback, 6 for Miranda. Good for him. He's at an 82 overall. Horton went up a couple. Fullbacks, we got several guys that went up here. Ball is still going to be our starter. Wide receiver, 4, 2 and 4. Good to see Myra go up quite a bit. Very good chance he may be our slot receiver next season. Then he got tight end. Parker went up 4. Good for him. Even though I still may end up starting the other kid. We may end up doing both. We may having tight ends in one spot and starting at the other formations. Look at guard. A couple went up there. Look at the center. Sampson went up 8. Good for him. Redshirt freshman. That is a breakthrough right there. He will probably be our starter next year. Guard, a couple guys went up 4. Michael Jackson's going to be our starting right guard, it appears, still. Warren went up 6. This kid has been really good for us. Defensive end, there's Nichols at 91. Bailey went up to 82. Right end, Buttles. And Bank, this is Blanks. This is the kid that we brought over from outside linebacker and Buttles. So we've got both of them at right end. I didn't mean to really do that, but look at the 95 overall for Buttles and 89 for Blank. So, again, moving them down the defensive end helps. Defensive tackle, 85 went up for this kid right here, and we got a pretty good front line. It looks pretty good. Then you got the outside linebackers, 82 and 80. We got some middle linebackers do well here. We'll probably split the time with Walker and Mason again. I don't know. We'll figure that out. We got a lot of talent to work with there. Right outside linebacker, McCoy's at 89, just an absolute stud. Corner, we had our top 2 guys went up a couple, with a couple backups went up 4. Free safety, Brown went up 4. He's going to be our starter next season. Good chance that it will be just because I need the speed. And then you got strong safety. Gallagher went up 4. Gilmore went up 4. So, again, it may be a little bit before that true freshman Gant gets on the field, but I need more speed at strong safety than I do at outside linebacker. Our kicker went up a couple, and our punter went up 8. Good to see that. So let's end training. As you can see, we have 71 players. We need to cut one person. So let's just go through here really quickly. I think I know which one I'm going to cut. It's a guy who's just not very good. Is it? No, is it Marcelin? I think it's a defensive player, if I'm not mistaken. Let's go and check out. It's like a 60. I don't really want to cut this true freshman. I like having some bodies here at defensive tackle. They're hard to get at times. Middle linebacker. I think it's a Zach Smith kid. I think I'm going to cut him. I hate to cut a redshirt senior and whatnot, but he's never going to see the field, so I'm going to go ahead and just cut him. And now we're down to 70 players, so we are done with cutting players. Let's check out our roster for next season. Now, this is the time where we're going to talk about my channel members having access or the ability to pick a freshman that we just picked up, and they can change their name. So I'm going to leave a post about that for the channel members a little bit later for that. And this is a good time to look at, see who you may want to get. But now, other than that, though, let's look at our freshman who's coming in and our roster as a whole. We're going to start off at quarterback. Gates is our starter. That is obvious. And we got Jones, Moore, and Asak. We are just in really good position here for kicker. And if you notice, we got a couple dual threat guys to go with some pocket passers. Just a really good spot to be in at quarterback. Halfback, we got a ton of bodies here. And Horton is our number 1 dude. He's going to get a lot of carries. But I'm also going to split a little bit of that with one of these freshmen. I don't know which one. I may end up... See, Miranda went up big time on the training, but he's only at an 85 speed. I will probably redshirt one of these two true freshmen, and the other guy is going to be our other starter. Probably Huff, because I just want to get his speed out there, because I like having a little speedster to go along with Horton, who's much more of a downhill kind of guy. But as you can tell, we got plenty of talent here. We're in good shape. Fullback, really good shape. Ball is our senior. He's been starting for us forever, and that's going to be his spot when he graduates. Wide receiver, we've done some good things here. Riley is still an impact player for us, so he's going to be a starter. But Myrick is now technically our best wide receiver just in terms of talent. But look at here, this JUCO kid. This is the kid that's going to be our slot receiver. I like to have speed in the slot. He could just break to his routes a little bit quicker because of that speed. And he can catch pretty well too. So Riley's probably going to be at the X spot. Then you got Myrick is going to be our Z receiver. Peterson's going to be in the slot. And then we got backups behind him with some of these freshmen. Now, one thing I forgot to do, I'm sorry, we're going to go back really quickly. We're going to look at these jersey numbers. I didn't think about this, but Michael Hill's a 40 and Marcus Huff is a 20. And I will talk about this with the channel members later. I'm not real keen on changing numbers as well. I'll deal with that a little bit later on. We can fix that later if needed. But I just want to bring up the jersey numbers. 40 for Michael Hill, 27 for Marcus Huff. Now let's go back to these wide receivers. So Peterson's at an 88. That's a great wide receiver number. McCoy's at 85. Akindona's at 83. Did we pick up somebody else? Culberson's at 81. And that is it for all the receivers. They picked up a bunch of wide receiver numbers. Then you got tight end. Kyle Young is at 80. Really excited about this kid. But look who really stepped up in training, and that is Parker. You look at Parker. Look at his catcher. I mean, he's actually the better tight end than Young. So I may actually be able to redshirt Young if I feel like it. Get a couple 2-year separation between these two. So that may be a possibility. Tackle. We got a bunch of right tackles and left tackles. I should have moved a couple of these guys over, but that's okay. That's not a big deal. But Lawrence at 78. Really excited about this kid. This is the one pickup we got out of all of them that's a real breakthrough that I was not expecting him to be that good. But 80 overall at a 3-star kid, that's exciting. And Clemens done good as a 4-star at 76 overall. He's at number 70. You look at the guard, we didn't get anybody, but the right kid we moved over, and he actually went up a little bit. He went to 72. So that was an okay transition. He was never going to play any at left tackle anyways. Center, big breakthrough for Simpson. He is our starter. Defensive end, we moved over Buttles and Blanks. So now our defensive end position just got a little bit better. So I got to figure out who I want to start in certain spots. Probably Buttles is going to be our other starter because look at that speed. 85 speed to go along with that 255-pound body. And all these guys are the same strength. So it's going to be Buttles, Nichols, and Blanks behind those guys. Defensive tackle, we picked up this one kid, 99. That's a good number for that big monster. 6'3", 225. He'll probably never see the field, but that's okay. Outside linebacker, we didn't pick up anybody here if I'm not mistaken. Same with middle linebacker. Corner, we did pick up a couple of guys. Kenneth Buchanan, number 6, and Todd is number 2. A lot of corners tend to get these single-digit numbers, which is fine. Free safety, we didn't pick up anybody here, but we did pick up this Gant kid who's number 24. His time will come. He's got a couple guys ahead of him that will be, by the time he redshirts, a couple of these guys will be gone, and this may be his spot. It's so hard to find speed at strong safety. That's why I put him here. We got the kicker and we got the punter. So that is it. We are done with off-season. We're done with recruiting. Our next video, we're going to head into the preseason for Season 4. It should be a lot of fun, and I can't wait to get into it. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later.